Let's talk about an industry and a job that are not super sexy, are not super talked about, but that you can make a real ton of money at in 2025 if you're looking for stability in your career and you want to have a long-term role. And the industry that I'm talking about is insurance. And the reason that a lot of people never look at insurance is because maybe when they're young at some point, somebody tried to talk to them about a job that was like selling life insurance for commission only or something like that, and they were like, oh, I don't want to do that, and they outright dismissed the industry, or it just didn't look like it was a super fun job or a job you can make a lot of money. I'm telling you, as somebody that's worked over half my life in insurance companies. Now, I'm in HR in my career, but I've worked in insurance companies for about half of my time. I will tell you that people can make a ton of money if you make this your long-term career. So let's talk about what kind of roles are actually available in insurance companies and what they look like depending on what your style of personality and what kind of work you like is. So the first role is what they call a producer. So a producer is somebody that sells insurance. Now they either sell insurance by going out and prospecting it, maybe like for businesses, or maybe they sell insurance for personal lines, like, you know, people's car insurance and their homeowners insurance, and people call into them for that. And there's a couple different ways that can be set up. Now, some companies like a State Farm or Allstate have agents, and that means that they're just selling the insurance for that line of business. That's it. Now, other insurance companies have what are called brokers, meaning that you call into your broker and your broker can sell you insurance from any of the companies that they're affiliated with to try to get you the cheapest price and the best rates and the best coverage for you. So whichever one of those you happen to choose, depending on what company you like, producer is a great role. Let me talk realistically about what you're looking at as a producer for most companies. You're going to start off and your role will probably be some type of a base plus commission role. Now, that might not be the first year or two the biggest amount of money you have made in your life. But if you look at this long term, you are really your own boss in this role because you have your set of clients. This role builds every single year, meaning that you're going to work in it. And if you write a person's car insurance and their homeowners insurance, and Bob really likes you, and now you have Bob as a client. You sold that policy. Now, every single year that Bob is a client going forward, you've already built the relationship when you gave him great service to sell his policy initially, then you're going to get that renewal every single year and get paid on it. So if you can develop good relationships and you're good at talking to people and just decent at sales, like you can just talk to people over the phone like I'm talking to you right now, that person can build up a huge book over the career, can make hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars. And it's a very lucrative career long term. I've seen people, in their first couple of years making six figures in insurance companies, just working the formulas that the company gave them of what to say, how to talk to customers, how to sell the insurance, how to service the policies. And it's a really good career because the old joke about insurance producers or insurance brokers is that they're going to work really hard for the first 10 years. You're going to work really hard to establish your book, to get your renewals, to get your relationships. And then, you're going to have a great career of building after that. But you've built something for yourself long term. Okay, so let's say that you're really, if you're interested in commercial, you can do that. If you're interested in life, you can do that. If you're interested in personal lines, you can do that. But maybe you're more of like a service type person, like you just want to kind of like help people and you're not that big into sales. Well, then you can be what the other role that most insurance companies have is called an account manager. An account manager is a role where people call in on the book that the producer has already written. So let's say that the producer has 100 policies that they've written throughout the last 2 or 3 years. Somebody has to service that book for them because the producer, the guy, the agent or broker that's out there selling, is still trying to sell more policies for themselves and for the company. So the account manager is the person that's going to maintain the relationship with the client. So the client calls in and they say, oh, I need to add my son onto my car insurance policy right now. Oh, my daughter left for college, so go ahead and take her off of my health insurance. She has health insurance through her job now, whatever it happens to be. So when you do that, and the more lines that you can write, depending on how your company is set up, that account manager becomes really critical to the relationship too, because they're the one that's helping the person. And so you're servicing, but then you also get paid on a commission basis as an account manager for most companies, because now if you added that line and you added Bob's son on to the car plan, that the credit for the sale of that new policy is also giving you commission as the account manager, because it's a new policy that you sold by just cross-selling the book that the producer already gave to you to work. So it's a role where yes, you're doing much more service. There's a light sales component to it too, but really just by doing the service, you're going to be able to make money in sales in the role. So the reason that I want to bring this up is that a lot of people are very job insecure in 2025. In the last 2 years, really, it's really become a market where people feel very insecure in their companies. They don't feel like they have any longevity. They feel like they can be laid off at any time. And if you have a book as an insurance producer, you're not going anywhere. The truth is that most insurance producers and account managers never leave the company that they start with. And the reason that they don't do that is because they've established a book. So if they go to a new company, they're going to have a non-solicitation, meaning they can't take the customers with them, because they were the leads and the bringing the customer in happened with this company. So if you're with company A, you can't take those customers over to company B. So that means that you have to start over as a producer or account manager, and most people do not want to do that. So they'll usually stay with their company for life. So if you're looking for a very secure job where you can make a lot of money, and you get to talk to people, you get to help people. If you like a lot of sales, there's a producer. If you don't like a lot of sales, there's an account manager. And if you just work the program that your company gives you, it's a very secure job where you can make very good money. And it's really going to be what you want to build up for yourself. It has an element of being your own boss and having responsibility for your own career. And one of the gripes that I get all the time from people is that they don't feel like they can make more money in their companies because their boss won't let them move up, or the company doesn't have availability to move up into other roles. Well, if you can change your own destiny by the number of policies that you write or the best service that you write, you have no barrier to how well you can do in that market, and it's never going anywhere. There's no job insecurity to that role. So I ask you heavily to look into it and think about it. And most people will pass on this video. They'll be like, oh, insurance is boring, I don't want to do that, and they'll swipe off. But for those that stayed and listened, you realize that this is a very secure job that you can make a lot of money at, and you can develop long-term relationships and have great job security. In fact, it's one of the best jobs that is available in America in 2025. So look into it and let me know if you have any questions. If you had a great career in insurance, let people know too how they can get into it at your company.